After the announcement of the mass vaccination for inhabitants of Old Providence, many doubts arose about the safety of these vaccines. The Secretary of Health announced the importance of immunization.
In the last hours, competent authorities announced the massive vaccination of the population of Old Providence and Keclina, taking into account that the islands are in a situation of special and particular risk since it has a very low affection by COVID-19, one of practically zero cases. However, in the coming months, there will be an increase in the risk of acquiring infection due to the arrival of many people from the continent for the reconstruction of the islands. However, through social media, plenty of citizens made known their skepticism about the efficacy or safety of the vaccines against COVID-19. And regarding this, the Secretary of Health of the department said that they will continue with awareness campaigns and promoting education towards the importance of immunization.
It is a work that we have been doing to teach the population the importance of vaccination. There are many myths that have been created around the COVID-19 vaccine and also about other vaccines in other times in the world. For example, when the polio vaccine came out, many people became resistant to it. The important thing here is that we, as officials of the Health Secretariat and the departmental government, will continue to watch over the protection of people's health. This is a joint work that has been done together with the administrators of the EPS benefit plans, the Ministry of Health, and we are working on this communicational campaign from the directive of the Ministry of Health to inform people about the importance of vaccination.
The Secretary emphasized the importance of this immunization against COVID-19 and that the only effect of the vaccine will be to minimize the risk of infection of the new coronavirus. It is expected that 70% of the community in the municipality is vaccinated to create a herd immunity among the inhabitants. It is also expected that in the next few hours, the national government will define which batch of vaccine will be sent to the municipality.
At the press conference, the Secretary of Health called for those adults over 80 years of age who have not get vaccinated as yet to communicate and approach the points that the Health Department has arranged for that purpose.
The Departmental Health Secretary, Julian Davis, explained the need for the elderly who have not yet been vaccinated to come forward so that they can start with the next population group that are vulnerable to the virus, taking into account that there could be a new peak in the contagion and COVID figures on the island.
There is a difficulty with the special conditions that we have as an island, where we do not have address nomenclature, for example, to locate people. For this reason, we are asking people over 80 years old, family members who have adults over 80 years old in their homes that have not been vaccinated as yet, to contact the departmental office as soon as possible so that we can make the appointment. We are going to communicate with the churches and the senior citizen clubs to be able to finish this stage, where we are missing 350 people over 80 years old to finish this first stage and start with the stage from 60 to 79 years old.
The Health Secretariat set up 2 vaccination sites for the population over 80 years old today and tomorrow, March 19, in order to finish with the missing doses of the lot. The vaccination sites are in the sector of San Luis at the Maria Estrella del Mar Catholic Church from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and in the sector of the Hill at the Cultural Center, diagonal to the San Francisco de Asís Catholic Church from 2 to 6 p.m.
And the Colombian Association of Travel Agencies and Tourism, ANATO, asked the interim governor for the creation of incentives to boost tourism on the island.
With the objective of achieving a more accelerated reactivation of tourism in the archipelago, ANATO through a letter requests the departmental government to establish strategies for the promotion of tourism through tax incentives, as explained by Nachali Livingston, Executive President of ANATO San Andres Chapter.
Law 2068 in its Article 49 says that councillors, assembly members, governors can implement territorial tax incentives to be able to encourage a little and relieve entrepreneurs in the tourism sector. That will help a bit to reactivate activate all destinations nationwide faster. We know that the resource or the economic income of the island comes from the tourism sector, so ANATO invites that the implementations of these incentives be made.
On the other hand, ANATO San Andres chapter indicated that for the realization of its tourism fair to be held on April 28, 29, and 30, the number of participants from the archipelago to the event has been reduced because of the pandemic.
The department will have approximately 20 or 30 participants at the most within the chapter, including hoteliers, tour operators, among other different tourist attractions that we can find here. Due to the situation and to the fact that the proximity between people cannot occur per the COVID-19, the gastronomic exhibition will not be possible. Maybe it will be a very small exhibition, not like in previous years when San Andres was showcased. Then it was something great because everybody liked the gastronomy, the dances, and everything that the department offers. This was significantly reduced due to what we are living today.
ANATO 2021 will take place in a physical area of 15,000 square meters, half of the usual, and approximately 17,000 people are expected to participate, a lower figure compared to previous year where the capacity reached 48,000 attendees. It is expected that the participation of the archipelago in the event will contribute to economic recovery of the islands.
And for tomorrow, March 19, the Departmental Controller's Office, through its leader, Justiniano Brown, invites the entire community to its accountability report regarding its management in 2020.
From 4 p.m. this Friday, March 19, at the Walwyn Peterson Bent Auditorium of the Coral Palace, the Office of the Comptroller General of the Department will render accounts for its management corresponding to the 2020 fiscal year. The community will also be able to participate virtually through Facebook Live Contraloría site and learn about the report of the audit's processes, fiscal findings, and fiscal responsibility processes. According to the Comptroller General of the Department, Justiniano Brown Bryan, and his management team, they will be accountable to the community of the island regarding the management that the fiscal control body of the islanders performed during the 2020 term. This space, in addition to reporting on the activities carried out, will allow the community to express their ideas, concerns, complaints, and claims regarding fiscal control processes of work, projects, and programs that have been executed by the entities of the departmental order who are subject to control.
We have good, important results, and we want the community to know how the performance of the fiscal year has been. The community may ask questions. All will be resolved in due course.
The event will be held in person with a maximum capacity of 40 people. To attend in person, the community can register through the email ataylor@contraloria.gov.co.
And now we continue with information from our sister island of Fort Providence. Yesterday, as part of the program Reading is My Story, the library tent was handed over by the Vice Minister of Regional Development and Culture.
Accompanied by the Director of the National Library, the Manager of the Republic's Bank of San Andres, and the Municipal Secretary of Culture yesterday, the Petty Minister of Regional Promotion and Patrimony handed over the provisional tent that will function as municipal library.
Today, we were delivering to all the institutionality a library tent so that all the children, youth, and adolescents can go to this important space and continue with the habit of reading.
The delivery is made in the framework of the program Leer es mi cuento, and it's located in the Concentración Simón Bolívar.
Las actividades que hacemos acá en la biblioteca son...
The activities...
En esta época todo cambió. A todos nos han pedido un esfuerzo.
El de nosotros informar.
Porque tú necesitas ver y saber lo que sucede. Y para ello, somos fieles testigos de cada noticia.
Nosotros los periodistas tenemos el compromiso social de llevarte la información hasta el hogar.
Enfrentamos y afrontamos los cambios políticos, sociales, culturales y económicos todos los días.
Hemos logrado estar al lado de los que están pasando necesidades. Estamos en las protestas.
Transmitimos información de los gobiernos.
Pedimos respuestas a nombre de la sociedad.
Y seguiremos haciéndolo con responsabilidad.
Esto y más aquí en Teleislas News.
En esta época todo cambió. A todos nos han pedido un esfuerzo.
El de nosotros informar.
Porque tú necesitas ver y saber lo que sucede. Y para ello, somos fieles testigos de cada noticia.
Nosotros los periodistas tenemos el compromiso social de llevarte la información hasta el hogar.
Enfrentamos y afrontamos los cambios políticos, sociales, culturales y económicos todos los días.
Hemos logrado estar al lado de los que están pasando necesidades. Estamos en las protestas. Transmitimos información de los gobiernos.
Pedimos respuestas a nombre de la sociedad y seguiremos haciéndolo con responsabilidad.
Esto y más aquí en Teleislas News.
Hello and welcome to Teleislas News, the most relevant and important information of the day.
After the announcement of the mass vaccination for inhabitants of Old Providence, many doubts arose about the safety of these vaccines. The Secretary of Health announced the importance of immunization.
In the last hours, competent authorities announced the massive vaccination of the population of Old Providence and Keclina, taking into account that the islands are in a situation of special and particular risk since it has a very low affection by COVID-19, one of practically zero cases. However, in the coming months, there will be an increase in the risk of acquiring infection due to the arrival of many people from the continent for the reconstruction of the islands.